Okay, hi everybody. This is Jack with Reynard Architectural Designs, and we're hosting another episode of Walk. Oh my gosh, Walk Your Plans, the podcast.
I love it.
It's
Rename
called
it.
By Design, but we might as well call it Walk Your Plans. All right, that's an error we're going to keep in just for fun. Let me take that again. This is Jack with Reynard Architectural Designs, and we're hosting another episode of By Design. Today I've got Mary Atchley with Walk Your Plans. How are you, Mary?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So Mary, you're with Walk Your Plans Atlanta.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about the conversation we're about to have because not to jump too far ahead, but we brought some of our clients out and they had a wonderful experience in Roswell. Walking the floor plans that James Knight, our architect, designed, and we had a great experience. So I'm excited to talk more about Walk Your Plans and what you guys do.
Cool. Great. Let's do it.
So Mary, I always like to ask people when they come on and join me for the podcast, just to give us a bio. So you can give us a quick personal bio so we can get to know you, but I'd also love to hear the bio of Walk Your Plans. What's the story? Because it's a pretty cool thing that you guys do. I'd love for everybody to hear about it.
Yeah. So Walk Your Plans. I co-founded it with my partner in life and partner in business, Mark. Both of us actually have, 20 plus years experience in the corporate world. We both came from the technology space. And, we had, for a couple of months had been looking around at each other and saying, listen, like, we feel like we want to go do something on our own. Like, we feel like we have enough experience to go build our own thing, whatever that is. With still enough runway in life where, listen, if it doesn't work out, we can go do something else. And so,
sure.
Funny enough, Mark's parents were actually building their own custom home, and we were standing on an empty lot. And his dad made a comment, I just can't visualize what the house is going to look like. Yeah. Well, as you know, your phones are listening. And so my phone was listening and heard that comment. And I got served a video for Walk Your Plans based out of Cleveland, Ohio. And I saw the concept. I was immediately blown away at the capabilities and called up the founder and said, hey, would you be interested in bringing this to Georgia? And so long and the short of it, it took about 12 months for us to get all the paperwork signed and get the building built, everything built out. But that's the genesis of Walk Your Plans. And so we've since left our corporate careers and are doing this full time.
And what year did you guys start? So how long has Walk Your Plans been happening?
We opened in November of 2024. So we're still pretty new, right? We've only been around for about a year and a half. So people are still figuring out who we are and what we do.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm going to ask a couple follow-up questions to learn more about that. And maybe you can give us some insights that some of our home design clients could benefit from. I thought it would be fun to do it, maybe a ping pong match.
Yeah.
So I'll pepper you with 3 or 4 questions, and then maybe the last half you can ask me some questions, because I think some of the people that you guys work with might love to hear from an architectural design firm. So
I've got a lot of questions.
Great, I'm ready for it. So so we talked about how you guys got started in a little over not quite 2 years now. But what is a typical session like? So we had a session, but we had a couple that came out with us. We projected some plans, but tell us what you see, because you do this every day. What are most of your Walk Your Plan sessions like? How do they go?
Yeah. So just to give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. So when you come to our facility in Roswell, we've got a 6,000 square foot warehouse and a 4,000 square foot showroom in the back of our building. And what we have is some really expensive and really cool projectors. So what those projectors do is they actually project your floor plans at life-size scale. So you're able to actually step inside your floor plan. It's accurate down to the inch. And so when you come into our studio, we've got all of that ready to go. We've actually got walls on wheels. We've got furniture on wheels. So we've got a lot of really incredible tools that allow you to truly start to experience your space before it's built.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that Mark, your partner, did with our clients was, he was everywhere. because he was like, which was great. Like he was rolling around the laptop on a cart, but he was like rolling out the walls, rolling out the furniture, the couches, and it helped. It was huge. It was like having a bed in the bedroom
Yeah.
for us to kind of see, because our clients would sit down on the bed and then walk through their day. They would be like,
Yeah.
okay, do I have enough space to put on my slippers in the morning, kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's one of the most common things that we tell people, right? Is it's one thing to look at your floor plan as you're going through this process of building a custom home, which is a really big undertaking to begin with, but it's another to actually step inside of it and feel it for form and function in your day-to-day life. And that's really what we do every day at Walk Your Plans.
Yeah, and that's what we want. I mean, we talk a lot during the design process, not to get off track into that part quite yet, but it ties into what you're saying. And I'm going to take a really quick time out to welcome Kalyn. She snuck in. She's our business partner.
Yes, hello.
At Reynard. Hey, hey, Kalyn, how are you?
Sorry. Yeah, apologies, guys. I'm solo parenting tonight, and toddler had a complete meltdown. So, apologies.
Oh yeah, I know Phil can get kind of cranky when he doesn't have dinner on time, can't he? Oh wait, I'm sorry, your daughter Evie. That's
right.
Well, Kalyn, this is Mary. Kalyn's my business partner along with
Mary.
James.
Nice to see you.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Hey, these kind of podcasts, we can like do it, whatever. You know, we can totally fumble the intro if we want, like I did before you joined, or we can go off track.
There you go.
Yeah, but Mary, what I was saying is in the design process, kind of what you were saying about experiencing your home before it's built, like that was such a big deal. That was kind of eye-opening because we, our clients, we try to walk them through like, what does a day look like for you? Mm-hmm. And not just because it's easy to, you know, you're designing a home and you get caught up in the, how's it going to look? And there's Instagram and there's a lot of things, Pinterest, you know, that inform and, you know, get people creative and excited. It's why they will come to us. It's the total reason that they're partnering with us is because they enjoy the creativity of it. But there's also all that function and flow and daily living. And I love that we had an opportunity to walk that through with our clients when we visited with you. So yeah, let's keep talking about what it's like when they're out there, because I'm curious from your perspective, because you see a lot of clients, obviously more than we do on the regular walking plans. What are some of the most common things that people will, I guess, respond to? You know, they're what's the kind of feedback, or what are the things that people spend the most time on when they're walking plans?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, one of the coolest parts of our jobs is that we get to see so many different projects. So while I know we're focused on residential, we do also get to see a ton of commercial projects, medical facilities. We've seen churches, we've seen car dealerships. So we've really seen it all. And so, but the majority of what we see is certainly on the residential side. And what we generally find is, you know, although I will tell you, we somehow saw a 30,000 square foot home get bigger while they were there. That's the exception, not the rule. So people generally aren't making huge structural changes when they're there. It ends up being like the 10 to 15 little things that would impact the way you live your day-to-day life, like a door swing or making sure that kitchen island accommodates, you know, because the reality of it is if your, you know, family's in a certain stage of life, you're probably eating more meals at the kitchen island than you are around the kitchen table.
Yeah,
and so you want to make sure, you want to make sure that you're built for, you know, your home is built for that, whatever stage of life you're in. But then conversely, one of the other really interesting things that we're seeing a lot more of lately is we're seeing people who are planning for aging in place or multi-generational living. And so when you start to introduce some of those factors, the conversations can become a little bit different. So you're planning not only for today, but you're planning for tomorrow.
Yeah. How wide are these entryways? Exactly.
And so, you know, and then the other thing I would tell you that we see a lot of is we find that a lot of people have come in and they've spent a lot of times on what I would call some of the fun spaces, you know, their kitchen, their primary bedroom, you know, some of those spaces that are more lived in, but then they get into our facility and they step inside something like a guest bedroom that they probably hadn't really thought all that much about. And that's the moment where they realize, oh, I maybe need to pay a little bit of attention to form and function of this space as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally eliminating. I mean, I'm in my house, I rarely go into my guest bedroom.
Yep.
So when you're designing, but it's an important place, like your
Yep.
powder room, and yeah, you're going to get to walk this and experience it as though it's there, and really go, wow, do I have enough room to get around? We had our clients, I remember when we were there, to your point, they were toying with, and they had a very good follow-up session with our architect, James, based on what they noticed during their session with y'all. But it was just that functional thing. Like, is this doorway wide enough? Do these pocket doors, are they going to work if we move this wall around? So, I mean, maybe they were going to stick with the design anyway, but they asked some very important questions that I don't think they would have asked. I honestly don't. I think it would have been harder for them to visualize. So,
well, and I think on the professional side, what's really interesting, and it's fun for us to watch, is clients are physically in a different space. They're in a different environment. And so it evokes a lot of emotional and physical and just, I think, more thoughtful conversations and really interesting reactions because they are just in a more immersive environment. So on the professional side, we frequently get the feedback. One of my favorite pieces of feedback we got was, Mary, we made 2 months of decisions in 2 hours. So that's one of the benefits as well.
Yeah, that's great. What a great statement to hear.
Yeah, exactly. But what's funny is that we also, on the flip side, because we do see so many different houses and we do see so many different projects come through, people are often asking us a lot of questions.
Oh,
and
are they?
So, oh boy, they are asking us a lot of questions. So I've got a few lined up for you, Jack. If you answer the questions I get asked the most.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if I can't answer it, I've got Kalyn to bail me out. So we'll do our best to handle it. So we're in the hot seat. What do you got?
We're in the hot seat. So one of the really interesting things is people call us all the time. They think that we're just like a resource that knows everything about the building process. And you know what? Right. We know a lot. We do know a lot and we see a lot. But one of the main questions we get asked is, where do I start? Do I start with a builder? Do I start with an architect? Where do I even start this process?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Kalyn, you wanna get us started on it? Sound like you got
Yeah. I mean, really, it comes down to, it depends. Like, for example, like a lot of the clients that are good fits with us are people who value the architectural process and they value the process of really creating something their own. If somebody's looking for, like a builder just to come in and give them a set of plans and just kind of take it from there, whatever, or maybe some cookie cutter stuff. I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, but just, then that's the route that they can go, is just, to the builder. But if they're looking for something that, they're wanting something custom, they're really wanting to put intentionality around their home and their design, then really the first step is, contacting, an architectural firm. And there's some pre stuff that you could research and do. And, if you wanted to, you could, really dig into the details on counties and, kind of like stuff like that. And like, do you have a site? Do you have land? Like,
right.
The site surveys, so you could really get into that type of detail. But yeah, I hope that answered your question.
It does not, because you said it depends. No, well, it's that's the best answer, Kalyn, because because it depends on what you're trying to do.
Yes.
So building, because to Kalyn's point, you could find plans online. You may not need an architect to build a home, and a lot of clients don't need an architect to build a home because they could. I would say it depends. Another way of putting it is like, who's in the driver's seat. So if your builder's in the driver's seat, you're going to tell them more or less what you like and don't like, and they're going to execute on it. And you have to be very open to them making selections for you and making decisions about, how is this going to work with the site kind of on your behalf. And they will build it kind of their way with your guidance. Now, if we flip that around and say, now if the architect is in the driver's seat, then the architect is going to design whatever he or she wants. Now, that may end up being a very costly design. So what we tell our clients is we want you to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
You're the client, you're in the driver's seat. It's your home, it's your project. And if they're in the driver's seat, they really should start having conversations with both an architect and a builder, not simultaneously, but kind of together.
Yeah.
Now they can't get built without plans, and so you're only going to get so far in your conversation with your builder. So logically, you are going to have a set of plans, in order to. So that would be kind of the first thing if you're going to design what we call a truly custom home, not a customized home. Then you have to start there. But I would say even start before you talk to the architect. What we encourage our clients to do is come up with a vision statement. So we try to coach them through.
That's smart. I love
Yeah,
that.
I think so. I think it's smart. Yeah, but like taking them through what is the home about? So let's answer that question. Is this a vacation home? Is it a second home? To your point, Mary, is it multi-generational? Because that's going to affect design, or is it an aging in place? And then we start putting words around what the intention is. And then we start fleshing everything out around that vision statement. So then your architect, Pinterest boards are great. Visuals are great, but we really want to know, how are you going to live? How are you going to spend your time?
Yep.
And to your point, Mary, when we get in to a walk your plans environment, we can actually live that through a little bit.
Yeah.
And we haven't even talked about the AR stuff that y'all do.
Yeah.
But that's another layer of that experience.
Yep. So I'll tell you one last question, just to pick your brains, that we always get, which is, what are some of the things that you're seeing now that are some of the newer trends, but that you think are going to remain timeless? So everybody wants to design for a timeless home, but things are always changing. So what are some of the things you're seeing in homes being built today?
That's a great question. I have some ideas. Do you have a response right away, Kalyn?
Not right away. So I'll let you lead, and then I'll continue processing.
Yeah, noodle on that for a second.
Yeah.
I think what came to my mind was I'm seeing a lot of clients do what they're calling like a scullery, or you could think of it like a prep kitchen, or a walk-in pantry that's also equipped with some dirty spaces. So a sink, a washing or dishwasher, maybe a little cooler to keep cold drinks. But the reason I really like that as a timeless type of thing is because I do think people are shifting the way they want to experience their homes a little bit more, because the kitchen has become such an important gathering spot. Like that is probably the most timeless thing I see, is that people, we laugh about it all the time. My wife and I love to host Christmas parties. So we had a disco Christmas. Everybody shows up in their 70s disco gear, and we've got a disco ball, and we've got records playing.
I'll be looking for my invite. Okay.
Coming up this Christmas. Well, we don't know the theme yet, so but we do different. So anyway, disco Christmas. We do all these things to make the house awesome. And you know where people hang out? It's in the kitchen. Everybody's in the kitchen the whole time. It's like we cannot pull people out of the kitchen. And I think there's just something naturally gravitating about spaces where you can sit, you can eat, you can relax. So that scullery, prep kitchen, kind of tucked behind type of area gives you so much more space, but it also gives you this place that's dedicated to being dirty, so you can kind of get that messy. And then the kitchen space is not just a place to cook, but it's a place to gather and hang out. So I've just noticed that. That's just me seeing clients. That's not like a design trend necessarily. James could probably tell you a little bit more, but I think I've seen a lot of homes including that type of room that I have not seen in the past as much. What about you, Kalyn? What are you noticing?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's just a tough question, because you're almost, it's like, have you lived long enough to know what time it is?
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of difficult, because you just see trend. It's just like clothing, right? It's fashion trends. It just, things come in and out. And so it's hard sometimes to pinpoint exactly what's going to stick forever. I will say that probably house coloring is an interesting one, because unless you go something very unique, like we had a client do like a light blue kind of like it's very unique, very out there, you know,
Pretty
it's
vibrant.
very, very vibrant out exterior color. But I will say, like, the white and black will probably eventually fade. Like, that's probably going to go out of style eventually. I think we've already seen some of that is starting to kind of like decline. But I would say just more neutral tones. Probably is more timeless as far as exterior coloring is concerned. And when I say neutral, really not like overly tan or overly green, just kind of like a very neutral color.
Yeah. People are kind of looking for less expressive,
Yes.
like kind of a good template to build off of, because you can accent off of neutrals.
Yes.
And they're easy to change if you ever did sell the home or left it to a family member. Those are things that are easy to update. So they do kind of make them timeless in that way of kind of outliving maybe the original owners.
Yes.
What a great question, Mary. I think before Kalyn joined, we were talking about doing this on the regular, so we might have to kind of get back to you on what's hashtag trending.
Well, I think another thing, I'll just follow up, Jack, on what you were saying about kind of like that separated kitchen thing. I think open floor plans I don't think it will go to totally closed off as it was, but I think they're shifting a little bit more towards, let's just try to designate some space.
That's really good. No, that's a great observation, because I would say even then we've started, I guess, our 5th year together working with Reynard, and almost everybody we talk to says open floor plan, open concept, open concept. That was like, everybody says that, because so many homes were built with hallways and, you know, very partitioned spaces. And that was just like the thinking. But yeah, to what you're saying, Kalyn, it is like, not everybody's just set on it being open concept. It's
even that's nuanced.
Yeah.
Phrase. Yeah.
Man, you could get us talking for another hour about this.
And you can imagine, so from where we sit, you can imagine, because we see all different types of projects, you know, styles and aesthetic. And so I frequently say, I don't know if I feel less prepared or better prepared if I ever go custom, because boy, it's an undertaking. And so to have, I also, you know, I'll just close by saying, you know, I also get to see every day the value of having professionals like you guys guiding clients through this process, because, you know, our core philosophy is, whether you're building a $250,000 house or a $25 million house, odds are it's your biggest investment. And so you need really good partners to help you navigate that really important decision. So
yeah,
absolutely. And same for us, having partners that do what we can't do, like what you guys facilitate, has been great. And one of the things I liked when we were out there with Mark and our clients was that he just kind of let them explore and walk and do it at their own pace. And, you know, I was following around with the camera, but I tried to kind of keep my distance. So, well, mainly I wanted them to be able to see what their home was going to be like. And we played the rendering. That was just great. We had their video rendering that James had provided.
It's awesome.
And we were able to project it on a huge screen. Yeah. And Jeff and Colleen, they just stopped and paused and watched it. And it just kind of felt like, what a great moment to you know, this is the closest they're going to get before the home is built, to walk it. And it really felt like it was like, oh, it went from this thing on a computer to a thing that might actually happen.
So we get to watch a large range of emotions. We've seen tears, and fun fact, we've had one marriage proposal. So
okay.
Drop down on one knee and propose. And so it's fun, but it does unlock this real emotion in people. And I also think it's really cool to see your work come to life. I think it's really fun to get to see the work that you've been doing from a totally different perspective.
I love when we get to see all these different angles come together. Everybody's sharing in the same outcome. You know, that's what it's, at the end of the day, it's a new home that these two people in this case put heart, soul, time, energy, effort into creativity and to get to celebrate with them is awesome. That's a pretty cool story as marriage proposal. I was afraid you were going to say divorce because, people couldn't decide on this.
No. We will bill the therapy session to your healthcare insurance.
You've seen all kinds of emotions, but you haven't seen anybody break down, have you?
No, it's mostly joy. It's mostly
good.
So, even, but there's something to be said, right? You're going to have hard conversations. You're going to have to make tough decisions. And why not at least do it in an environment that's a little bit inspiring and a little bit fun?
Yes.
So,
I think that's a great story. Well, we got to go find a couple we can stage to do another proposal and get that on camera. I was kidding.
These are some great PR.
No, that's my marketing brain getting excited about your story. But Mary, thank you for joining us. You kind of answered the last question I was going to ask you was, do you have any favorite stories from Walk Your Plans? And I don't know if it tops the marriage proposal. That's pretty dang cool.
No, it's awesome. I think, for us, we don't take for granted the fact that people are letting us into their most personal and private spaces during a very emotional process. And so while we have a lot of fun, we take that quite seriously. And so it's our joy and our honor. And then, of course, we get to meet great people like you guys every day.
Nice.
Come on. It's the best. So.
Well, you guys have been the best too. You made our clients, they really enjoyed their time, and I think they felt cared for, and it was awesome. We're going to be back. We've got a couple of other couples lined up that are getting near that point where they're ready to see what their plans are going to look like in real life. Next time when we get together, I'm gonna do a little teaser here, a little plug, because we didn't even talk about the AR. Mark had me strap on the Visor when I was there, and it was pretty cool. So I got to tour a home by standing in one place. It's unreal and very real at the same time. So that's one of the things I'd like to talk about next time is like, what does that look like for clients?
There's a whole great journey to how we opened that business. So can't wait to tell you about it.
Oh, the little toddler joined us just to the end of the podcast.
Hello.
Hi, Evie. And she's getting big. I haven't seen her in a while.
I know. Yeah.
Well, Mary, thank you again and enjoy your evening. And we can't wait to come out to Roswell. How can people follow you? What's a good little closeout of how they can stay connected? How can they get to know more?
Yeah, you can find us on all social channels. We are Walk Your Plans Atlanta and walkyourplansatlanta.com. Yeah,
you guys have a great YouTube channel and following you on social. And I love the videos. There's some good stories out there. So we enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you again. And Kalyn, thanks for joining us. Evie.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Glad I can make it.
All right, guys. We all have a great evening and appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Nice to meet you, Mary.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
All right. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
All right. Thanks. Bye, guys.